Right, here we go. I thought I'd chance it because the weather's picking up, so it's a bit windy. I do apologise if it ruins my video. We'll see if it's okay when I get back. Anyway, free speech. Even though I'm not a free speech absolutist, I do believe that free speech is the most important cog in the wheel of democracy. Without that, then why bother? We are not free as a people, as a society, community, as a nation. And there are people out there determined to control it. You know who they are, the Luftwaffe, the wokey-cokies, call them what you will. The guys, the women, whatever the hell they identify as, on the other side of the political spectrum, and they're the true extremists. Now, they're controlling this narrative. They want to control your thoughts and your speech because they feel threatened by it. They don't like different ideas. It's either their way or the highway. They call themselves communists, Marxists, socialists, and every other extreme left-wing group in existence. It's not about freedom. It's not about keeping people safe, safe spaces. It's nothing to do with that. It's to do with shutting people up. And there have been prime examples of this: Katie Hopkins, Tommy Robinson, Milo, Ben Shapiro, Candice Owens, Donald Trump. They shut down Donald Trump, the elected president of the United States, Twitter account because they didn't like what he had to say. And it's usually people who speak the truth, and it's the truth that they don't like. It's inconvenient truth that they will shut down. Anyway, I've been a victim of this as well, by the way. I had to shut down my last YouTube channel because they were determined to keep my gob shut, but I'm not the sort to lie down and take it, hence my second channel, and I'm far more successful, so thank you very much. Now, Hamas Useless, the unelected Scottish First Minister, he brought in the hate speech laws, the so-called hate speech laws in Scotland, and they're going to roll out very soon, if not this week, I do believe. Google it, research yourselves, but I know it's coming soon. And what that means is you could be arrested, sent to prison up to 7 years, or get a couple of grand fine for saying something that displeases someone else. And this is a gift to the left, or to people with a grudge. Somebody doesn't like you and they say that you used the wrong pronouns or something, then Police Scotland will jump on you. And they're trying to roll this out in Ireland, and there's massive resistance. There's resistance in Ireland over other issues as well, and it's all about control. It really is. You bring in hate speech laws, then anything can be hate speech. Now, in regards to hate speech, does it exist? Yeah, if you use speech in order to destroy someone or get someone harmed, then yes. But what the lefties perceive as hate speech is what I'd say hate speech is. For example, Lee Anderson, his first words when he came out on that press conference to join Reform the other day was, "I want my country back." That's been called hate speech. That's not hate speech at all. It really isn't. He doesn't mean it in the sense that they want it to mean, even though they know it doesn't mean that, and that's what they like. They twist and misconstrue words in order to fit the narrative. You could say something completely innocent, and some blue-haired snowflake individual could take umbrage with that, be offended, go straight to the police, report you, and that's you done. Now, this can happen anywhere in Scotland, even your own house. You're having dinner, you say something, and then your uber lefty teenager who's in college kid dripped in all the left-wing movements takes offence, goes to the police, you're arrested. Now, if you're not free to say what you like under your own roof, then you have no roof, as far as I'm concerned. Hamza useless, or Hamas useless, and the dreadful SNP, what they have done is they've taken away free speech from the Scots. And they're trying to do that. Leo Varadkar's government are trying to do that in Ireland. And fair play to the Irish. I'll give them that. They are fighting everything that DRIP is trying to impose on them, and we should be doing that here as well. free speech is racism. Racism does exist, all right? I'm not going to piss that away in the wind. It does exist. I've seen it happen. I've stepped in on numerous occasions and I've seen it happen. You can't help your immutable characteristics. You really can't. It's not your fault. And if you get judged on that and your life is being hampered, or you're not getting the same rights and freedoms as other people simply because of your skin colour, then that's wrong, isn't it? Come on, we're all human. That is wrong. I've never ever judged anyone on skin colour. Views, ideology, fair game. Absolutely fair game. Your thoughts are open season to be challenged on their ideas at the end of the day. That's what I think about that. But again, with racism, guys, it swings both ways. It's not just them that are the victims of racism. My demographic, we get it all the time. It seems to be open season on Caucasians 24/7. Every day of the year, every year for a while now. Why can't we just go back to the 80s? You know, looking back, my childhood in the 80s, I thought it was quite shit, but it wasn't that bad really, was it? Everyone kind of got on. We really did get on. The lefties back then were all right. They just hated Thatcher and that's it. There was none of this cancel culture, socialism, Marxism, treachery that the lefties are engaged in, as in today. They were all right. A mate of mine just passed away. He was a prison officer, taught me the ropes, and he was an old school lefty, and I loved him to bits. He was just a good, funny, witty individual, and he'll be sorely missed. He was an old school lefty. Used to joke about him being a communist, but he wasn't. He was all right. Those lefties are okay in my book. You can debate them, argue with them. They're not extremists, and you can still be friends. They're not out to cancel you and ruin your life. Do you know what I mean? But that's what it's like these days, unfortunately. And that's why I'm not going to stop doing what I do. The more you try and stop me, the more this I'll do. They tried to stop me on my last channel, so I did another one and got better. So thank you. You created this monster, you lefties. But back to racism. I believe Anglophobia is on the rise, and it doesn't help when you have prominent people in society, people like Yasmin Ali Brown, Dr. Shola Moss, Diane Abbott even, and others regularly spouting anti-Caucasian, Anglophobic bile on social media and elsewhere, and they get away with it. And they get away with it because they perceive themselves as being the eternal victims when they're not. At the end of the day, if you look at history, every race was enslaved, every race were slave traders. We were all at it, ladies and gentlemen. Do we all get reparations? No. Do the Welsh get reparations from the English ever since Edward Longshanks, Edward I conquered us back in the 1200s? No, of course not. He gave us lovely, beautiful, huge castles, which the Welsh used for tourism, so he's made them money. So there we go, think about it like that. But seriously, Anglophobia is on the rise. It seems to be okay to be racist against people like me because of history, and these people want revenge. That's the only way I can see it. They want revenge. They were never enslaved or put down or anything like that, and I've certainly never owned any. And if I do see slavery going on, I'm sure I will speak out against it. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't any human being? So there we go. Hate speech is what the left deem it to be, and they've got the power there. They've got the cards. They're holding all the cards because they've got the police in their pockets, and they're wielding them against us or anyone whom has a different opinion or dares to speak differently. And that's the tale of the tape. That's what I think. Pray that hate speech bill doesn't come here, otherwise we're all screwed, aren't we? Because you know who's going to get targeted. People like me and people like you, and that's what they want. They want to shut us up. Pathetic. Anyway, that's that. I'm Paz49. Thanks for listening, and until the next time, I need to start looking at the camera, not the screen. It's not that I fancy myself, because I'm not all that. It's just when you do this, it's force of habit. Anyway, I'm off. Thanks for listening. Until the next time, Roger Trout.